Hey guys, so I wanted to jump on here today and talk a little bit about um, a subject that a lot of people have been coming to me on lately. The more and more they see me and my husband interact, and especially since the last video where I was talking about him a lot and kind of doting over him, a lot of people have been asking about how they can get their relationship in the right place. And they've been asking how we keep ours in such a healthy place. Anyway, I do teach a seduction course, but I'm going to give just like a mini lesson here and give you some pointers on some things that I know that would make a huge difference, especially if you're in a place of emergency where you're not totally sure if the rough patch that you're going through with your mate is going to take you to the brink of divorce, or you're just not sure of the outcome of the next few months. So this is going to be somewhat of a relationship rescue video. Again, this is going to be very brief, and I'm just going to start and kind of fly over these subjects. But if you, you know, pick and pull them apart, you'll see that if you apply them, then you will have a very good outcome. So the first thing that you are going to need to do if you are in a pretty rough spot, or even if you just feel like your relationship needs improvement, you need to make a list and not a list, but you need to write down somewhere that's just for you to see. You need to write down if you are planning to stay or not with your partner, and it can be a relationship, marriage, what have you, and you need to, like I said, make that official decision. And it might seem silly to write it on paper, but written word is extremely powerful, and you need to decide right there and write it down. And then once you do, you'll need to make a vow. You'll need to make a vow to place yourself, to dedicate yourself 1,000% to the next steps that I'm going to tell you. So if you decide that you aren't going to stay with your partner, then you need to make a clean break. Don't prolong it for the kids or for whatever. Make a clean break. Everyone deserves love, including you, including your partner. And everyone deserves to go find their soulmate and to experience the happiness that is absolutely possible for everyone. So don't prolong pain that has no chance of healing or redemption. All right, so back to the vow. So I want you on paper to decide whether you're going to stay or leave. And if you decide to stay, write it down and then vow yourself. Write down. I vow to dedicate myself 1,000% to this relationship. So at this point, I want you for 3 days to not allow any form of criticism against your partner or yourself to come out of your mouth. So there are books, and there are different psychologists and whatnot who say that it takes, I think, something like 21 days or like 3 weeks to form a new habit, and it takes Dr. Maxwell or something, I don't know, Maxwell Maltz, I think is what his name was, but had said in this book, I can't remember the name, I think it's like psycho-cybernetics, it doesn't matter, I don't know, I've never read it, but I have heard of this figure, and it claims that it takes 2 months to make that habit automatic, like an automatic thing that you do. So if that's true, then that means that what you have been, doing, your relationship with your partner, you've been over time slowly developing habits that end up turning automatic. And if you are a negative person, people aren't flawless. They come from all different backgrounds. They come from all different toxicities. and abuses and things like that. So naturally, the more time you spend with someone, the more those tend to creep out. And unfortunately, the more time you have to develop habits and start those cycles again in your own relationships. The good news is that at any point you can change these completely. And this 3-day no criticism and no self-defeating thoughts practice is a fantastic place to start. It's a fantastic jumping point. So again, for 3 days, I want you to commit yourself to not criticize your partner for any reason, even if they mess up on something, if they disappoint you somehow. Just don't. Just let it go. Don't harp on old problems, old fights. Don't bring them up at all. You need to be absolutely dedicated to not letting any negativity flow out of your mouth. When you feel those thoughts about yourself, let them go. Like force them out of your mind. Like I said, the doctor had said that it takes 21 days to form a habit. I think that it's a lot faster. You'll be very surprised about how many behaviors you keep after being dedicated to them fully for 3 days. And even more so at a week's time. So if you can do 3 days, try a week. But for right now, at least try 3 days. So do that. Be absolutely refuse to do any kind of criticism at all. Next, I want you to clean your space, especially if you live with your partner. Even if you don't, clean your space. So items contain energy. We leave our imprint on things. Some things hold bad memories. I really recommend you absolutely just cleaning your space, especially if you reside together, top to bottom. Get rid of old things. Rearrange your furniture. Clean out your car. And if this doesn't apply to you, then don't worry about it, but just cherry pick what you need. But I recommend a complete overhaul of cleaning. It doesn't matter if you're tired, whatnot. Again, old things have old energy and a lot of times negative energy, and you need to just get rid of them and rearrange your space. What we're going for is a pattern interrupt. A pattern interrupt can save your whole relationship. So again, no criticism, clean your space. I want you then to begin changing your appearance. So a lot of people notice that I'm always looking different, and I've changed dramatically since I've gotten married and lost a significant amount of weight. I've changed my hair. Well, I wear wigs, so I change my wig all the time and makeup styles all the time. It's very important to me. Pattern interrupts for me are a very common thing in my relationship, and it keeps things very fresh and very exciting. My poor husband, he doesn't know he doesn't know which way is up with me. Doesn't know which version of me physically is gonna get the next day. And he loves it. It's great. It always creates that newness and that freshness in a relationship, and I definitely recommend that. So whether you're male or female or what have you, change your appearance and really start to work on yourself. Maybe start a workout routine going, even if it's like 50 squats or something, or like 50 sit-ups or something. Just start a new, even if it's small, just start changing yourself. Begin that flow of energy, and start loving yourself and practicing a little self-care so that you can better love someone else. So like I said earlier, if you're a male, go get a haircut or go get a new outfit or something. Just maybe start working out or something. Just start changing yourself for the better and making commitment to that. Females have a little bit easier as far as changing ourselves. We have a lot of, like I said, things like wigs, and you can change your wardrobe very easily and dramatically, and your makeup, and you'd be very surprised what eyelashes and a wig can do. and or And for both sexes, do an invocation. A demonic invocation can completely change you in many ways. So not only just physically, not only like emotionally, but physically. So maybe an invocation of Lilith or Grimoire or Bleth. That would be a very good option. So start changing your appearance. Really put a major effort into it. A lot of times it's just a matter of getting up and getting dressed. There's some couples who just sit around each other in their pajamas and everything's just very old and very expected and very planned out and just monotonous. And there's a lot of times, resentment will grow in that, and you just get tired of it, and you want something new and fresh and exciting. And unfortunately, people will turn to infidelity sometimes when they aren't feeling appreciated or wanted or respected, or like, if things just seem just boring. A lot of times they're just seeking excitement and infidelity, and you want it to really avoid that at all cost. So, change your appearance. It's going to make you feel better about yourself, and if you love yourself, you're going to be able to love them more. So, do that. Finally, make love. I want you to absolutely go crazy and make it in bed. I want you to make it a goal to honor and worship and love their body. Make love to them like you never have before. Pretend like it's your first time with them. And it doesn't matter if you had a vicious fight days ago. It doesn't matter. Just tune it out of your head and love them with everything you have. And then, of course, this is if you've made the decision to stay. I don't know, people's situation, and that's up to you to decide if you want to make things work out. Only you know your situation. But if you've decided to stay, put your all into it and make love to them like there's no tomorrow, and make them feel needed and wanted and sexy. And don't do this same old boring routines that a lot of people get into. Be a little crazy in bed, and go for it multiple times. Just skip sleep. Who cares? It doesn't matter if you're tired the next day. Just absolutely make an effort to love and honor and worship their body, and at least 3 days in a row. And you watch how that will turn things around. A lot of times, again, people get in these toxic cycles of fighting, resentment, and just expecting and delivering criticism. And you have at any point in time the power to breathe life into your partner and breathe life into your relationship, and just breathe life into everything. Every one of you are so incredibly powerful, and you have no idea. And you can crush someone, you can kill their spirit, or you can breathe life into them. And it doesn't matter how damaged your relationship is. Typically, you can change it 100%. You can completely make things brand new and decide to live again in harmony and happiness and joy with your partner. Maybe it will take you reinventing yourself. That's why I suggested the change in appearance. Maybe it will take you reinventing your space to find that harmony. That's why I suggested rearranging furniture. But what it will certainly take is empathy and excitement and care. The lack of care, apathy, I feel, is what causes more divorce than anything. When you just stop caring, it's so easy to stop caring. That's such a coward move, just to not care. It's just so lazy. If you care and you show that you care, it will inspire others around you to care, and it will inspire your partner to care about you. Most times, not ever. It's very rare that someone is a true in the flesh psycho that isn't movable by drastic showings of affection and love. And if you are married to somebody who isn't movable, then maybe it's time for divorce. But most of the time, if you're having a rough spot in your relationship, it's just because you probably both have gotten a little distracted, a little lazy, a little entitled. Entitlement kills relationships as well. You're just expecting, like, oh, I should be treated like a queen or treated like a king or whatever, and not being willing to reciprocate. Also, keeping score, as keeping score kills relationships. Don't do that. I want you to practice humility. Be willing to clean up after your partner. Be willing to give them massages. Be willing to give them grace. They're not going to be perfect all the time. Neither are you. And they deserve the respect and honor of you giving them grace, since they're deciding to be with you in the first place, and, and bunker down with you. You need to give them space, or you need to give them grace and the space and the permission to be imperfect. I recommend another funny little tidbit I recommend is giving new nicknames. Sometimes nicknames will carry some old or negative weight to them. Establish new nicknames. Call them something new. Flirt with them. Let them know that they're attractive. Let them know that they're needed, wanted. Also honor them. Honor them publicly. I see a lot of people in relationships who will go, and especially the women, who will go, and you can always tell when they're in a fight with their spouse or with their partner, because they'll go and put some kind of passive aggressive song lyric or some passive aggressive quote, and where they are often too much of a coward to just have an adult constructive conversation with their partner about it, and they just want to be passive aggressive. Don't do that. Don't publicly embarrass your partner. Honor them publicly. It doesn't matter, if they're not perfect. It doesn't matter if you're not perfect. You should both be honoring each other all the time. And because when you devalue each other, especially publicly, it just really starts to crumble at your foundation, and it's embarrassing. It's humiliating. I know that men especially tend to be all about respect and whatnot, and if you go and start poking holes in the foundation of his of your respect for him and your public respect for him, that disintegrates things really, really quick. He's not going to feel motivated to be the man that you need. And vice versa. This works for women as well. Don't degrade, don't talk bad about your partner. These, again, are just little points that work in my relationship. These are things that I practice, me and my husband do every day. But I know that even if you just tried them for 3, that they could save your relationship entirely. If you want peace and you choose harmony and love, then start doing these practices, and you will discover that you have the ability to create magic even without a ritual, just by opening your heart, being vulnerable, and loving again. So I hope all of you have learned something today. Again, this is just advice, and maybe it's not one size fits all advice, but it's certainly, I get asked about my own relationship all the time, and these are the things that we practice, and we make sure that we honor each other with, and it's really, really, I feel, very solid, good advice for most anyone who is choosing to stay. But I hope you've learned something, and I wish all of you all the love and joy in the world. You all deserve it. And thank you for watching. If you like what you see, please subscribe, please comment, please like, and maybe I'll see you around to one of my seduction courses sometime. See you around.